used to tell me I was building a dream, and so I followed the mob. When there was earth to plow or guns to bear, I was always there, right on the job. They used to tell me I was building a dream, with peace and glory ahead. Why should I be standing in line, just waiting for bread? Once I built a railroad, I made it run, made it race against time. Once I built a railroad, now it's done. Brother, can you spare a dime? Once I built a tower up to the sun, brick and rivet and lime. Once I built a tower, now it's done. Brother, can you spare a dime? Once in khaki suits, gee, we look swell, full of that Yankee doodly-dum. 500,000 boots went slogging through hell, and I was the kid with the drum. Say, don't you remember, they called me Al. It was Al all the time. Why don't you remember, I'm your pal. Say, buddy, can you spare a dime?
Popular music of the 30s reflected and shaped American society and identity during a decade of economic crisis and industrial development, as it created a sense of self for the listener and resonates with the memory of the time.
Songs such as Brother, Can You Spare Me a Dime by Jay Gurney amplified the changes in attitude people had throughout the Depression. Songs became more realistic to the time and told the story of economic hardship.
Similar to authors using imagery and symbols in order to aid the overall theme, artists and bands use alliteration and repetition at this time to help certain verses stick in the listener's mind, such as "This land is your land," or Woody Guthrie states, "This land is your land, this land is my land, from California to the New York Islands," to portray national unity when everyone seemed to be out for themselves, or as in California, against any Okies.
They're always going, scrambling and rushing about. Why don't they stop someday, address themselves this way? Why are we here? Where are we going? It's time that we found out. We're not here to stay, we're on a short holiday. Life is just a bowl of cherries, don't take it serious, it's too mysterious. You work, you save, you worry so, but you can't take your dough when you go, go, go. So keep repeating it's the berries, the strongest oak must fall. The sweet things in life to you are...
Equally to the Grapes of Wrath, Henderson acknowledges the difficulty people go through to own property, when in reality the ties of family, as in the Joads, are considered the most important. Similarly, in the economic hardships, Depression-era music was portrayed to ease the suffering of the millions whose wallets were constantly constrained. Music was also important during the Depression era, as it allowed Americans to experience music in a social environment. Placing a nickel in the slot of a jukebox would allow people to choose songs that would color their memories of an evening out or provide the soundtrack to their lives. At the time of the Depression, people focused on fending for themselves primarily, yet music allowed them to come together as a group and be joyous and feel united. In the Grapes of Wrath, every Saturday night at the Weed Patch Camp was filled with song and dance as the people temporarily were able to rid themselves of any economic or personal hardship and simply interact and get along with other people.
Music brought people closer together, as it was also a direct insight into the many cultures coexisting in America. As in Bing Crosby's Sweet Way of Longing, Hawaiian culture using a ukulele and relaxing no worries tone was one example of culture expressed through American music. Performances recorded during the initial wave of interest in race records, hillbilly, and ethnic music by the major recording companies led to a search for new songs throughout the southern and western states. For example, the Cuban Rumba song by Don Aziazu topped American charts and reflected the popularization of ethnic music as people became more aware of others.
Sweet Leilani, heavenly flower, nature fashioned roses kissed with dew. And then she placed them in a bower. It was the start of you, sweet Leilani, heavenly flower.
The music itself speaks volumes of emerging trends, of cultural assimilation, of the role of religion, of race relations, and the general atmosphere of life during the 30s. Today, the music of the Depression provides an outlet for anyone facing difficult times, as well as a permanent time capsule to the sorrows and hardships people suffered during the Depression.
This land is your land, and this land is my land, from the California to the New York Island, from the Redwood Forest to the Gulf Stream waters. This land was made for you and me. As I went a-walking that ribbon of highway, I saw above me that endless skyway, saw below me that golden valley. This land was made for you and me. I roamed and rambled, and I followed my footsteps to the sparkling sand.
So Devin totally misunderstood when we said like kick it, and she made a dent in the wall. I punted it. She almost hit my head off. It went right by his head. Oh my god.
People are queer, they're always flowing, scrambling and rushing apart.
There, it's on, no, it's on the screen. Oh, it's on the screen. Should we flick it from the screen? I'm scared. I should be on Survivor. Wait, can you like move the thing and we'll like actually flick it off? No, I'm scared. I'll flick it. Okay, wait, move it over. I'll flick it. Wait. Oh my god! Wait, I think that's just a stick. No, I think it's a stick bug. It's definitely a stick bug. Where'd it go? It's right there. That's not a real bug though. No, don't touch it. It is a stick bug. It is? I've had experience with stick bugs. It's pretending to be a stick.
Oh, did it move its arms?
I can't tell, but it's wow, that's a really good stick bug.
Maybe it's just a stick from
No,
the
it's
wind.
a stick bug. I'm like definitely, it is definitely a stick bug. Come on. Oh, maybe.
Oh, it is a stick bug. Look at, there's its arm.
See?
Where'd it go? Oh, there's its arm.
But it's a really good stick bug.
We kind of killed it.
I know. I'm sorry.